Okay, apparently we're streaming. Ah, this is weird. I've got two different things here telling me I'm streaming, but nothing showing that I am. Create highlights while live. Okay, well that's fine. Alright, I'm seeing some comments. Jeebus. Now what I'm trying to do is see where I can find the chat. I don't know if... Okay, so we got something on the screen. Let me see if this is moving while I move it. Oh, that quality's pretty poopy. Can you guys hear me at all? Can anybody hear me? CPU is getting just cooked. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Hey, Byron. At least there's some names in here that are good. So I don't know if the only place I can check out this chat is having all these windows open. That seems really gross. I don't like that. Let me just close some of this stuff up here. I apologize if this is sounding horrible and stuff, you guys. I don't know if there's a delay. It's going to take some getting used to with this. But there's some perks. Apparently, once you're done, it'll just automatically save to YouTube and stuff. So that's good. Save some time on my end. But we're going to try drawing in a second. I'm just sorry. There's like this other piece of software. I don't know if you guys have ever tried this. This isn't like Google Hangouts. It's called Wirecast. I believe it's directly through YouTube. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's here, and I just find it interesting that there's no, like, the chat doesn't show up in here, which kind of sucks, because like if I have to have a window open to see the stream and all that stuff. Okay, I want to see how long the video is delayed here. So I'm going to scroll that up. See how long that takes to get over there. It's taken a while. Okay, so Byron, he said earlier that he can hear me. So I'm just going to do like a latency test here just to see how long it goes. So, wow, the video just moved and it's probably been 30 seconds. So there might be a 30-second delay. So I'm going to just say, can somebody type test in the chat? That way I can kind of time it and see how long it takes to get back from the audio. I'm assuming it's about the same. And the quality, I just want to see something here. Okay, well, I'm going to bring it down. I think there's a spinning gear here. You guys can change the quality if you guys want better quality in your stream. I think I'm just going to keep it pretty low just so it's easier on you guys. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I brought Byron for being here and everybody else just sticking around, going through the bumps and the hurdles and stuff like that. Again, this is just a test, and I appreciate you guys taking time to help me out here. All right, so far, I mean, everything seems good. Little hiccups to get it started. I'm just going to try this one thing. Apparently I can click something that'll kill the audio, and it'll just say something. I mean, that's a nifty little thing to have there, just that be right back button. But, alright, so the biggest test here is we're going to start drawing. You guys let me know, please, if there's lag, if there's anything like that. I'm just going to share this. I don't know if this is the link here. With some people on Facebook and Twitter. And how does the audio sound with you guys? Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the drawing, let's see how laggy that gets. But let me know how laggy my voice is while we're doing this as well. Appreciate all that. Try out a new... I'm going to help. I'll just paste a linky poo. I'll post there. And post here. And we'll post on the tweeters. Alright, let me just close all this stuff up here so we got no extra laggies. Everything's fine? Okay, right on. Alright, so let's get to the drawing and see how brutal this gets. So, I guess we can kind of talk about what I'm doing here. This is for Worlds in Peril. You guys have probably, if you've been following me and stuff, know quite a bit about this project. Right now, I will be taking this into into Manga Studio to do the character art and all that stuff. Right now, I just need to do the background. You guys know me, whenever there's buildings and cities and stuff, I prefer doing it in Photoshop because of the Paths tool. And then we're going to add a little bit of contour work and then just draw the characters over top. It's usually pretty simple. It's not like a big deal. So right now what I want to do is just sort of add a little bit of depth in here. I don't want to be spending too much time on this. I've got this. You guys might be able to hear the timer going off in the background. The dreaded TikTok. And what I'm trying to do is get all the line art done before that. I've got this and 2 other pictures we'll probably do. I'm going to just do a whole blast today. Whoever wants to stop by and all that good stuff and see how it goes. And then we'll get into the inks and all that fun stuff. So let me just see here. I just want to see where I had what face here. Okay, so when I stroke the path tool here, sometimes, or not sometimes, pretty much all the time, things get really flat looking. And really, I don't think it's a big deal. Once you get in there with inks, you can add some line weight. But there are some quick tools you can kind of do. I like to just duplicate this layer, turn the opacity down so I can see it behind itself, and then just sort of move it. And what I'm trying to do is concern myself with the perspective that it's giving. It's just a really quick way to get fast perspective. And I mean, it's not perfect, but the illusion it gives, in my opinion, definitely helps. Especially considering how we got to where we are. You know, just stroking a path to make your background. Which is, I don't know, I've had some discussions with people where it's, if there's one thing about digital, or doing a certain method with digital, it's this. It's stroking paths and such, where it feels like, you know, okay, well, maybe that is pushing it to being like, all right, well, you're not really drawing it. Come on, be an artist. So you see how I just kind of moved that all down, and then when I jack up the opacity, it just gives it like an extra thing once we fill it with black and stuff like that, just to help make it pop. And there's other details we're going to go ahead and do in there once we get to the actual inking. Let's kill all that extra stuff there, so I'll just merge that down. And what we're going to do is pull in some more paths for the building. This building here, this gigantic one, and possibly the one on the side. Let me just open up Manga Studio here to the side so you guys can kind of see where this is going. This is the thumbnail in the rough. A lot of it is sort of changed. These characters I'm going to design over top of this background. It's just easier for me that way. So you kind of see they're chasing a... it's like a hazardous material sort of thing in the tube. Looks like a... what's it called? I like to think of it like the ooze that the Ninja Turtles would have been in. Or the ooze that would have made the Ninja Turtles sort of thing. And then this is where we're at right now. And I've changed the perspective up a little bit to give us some more room to add some of these features and things. So, let me just see where this is. Do we need that? What is this? Oh, we can delete that. Okay, so I'm going to make a new layer here. And just so you guys can see what I'm doing, this I purchased from Freddie E. Williams. Love that guy's stuff, especially when it's anything Photoshop. And I've merged it with, which is pull it out a little bit, all the faces that I've used, you guys have seen me do this before, and it's always fun to watch it. I like this sort of thing. But the one I purchased, he comes with a lot of his own faces. Come on, Photoshop. As good as Photoshop is, sometimes it can be a little cumbersome. Hey, Lars. It's good to be able to see. I'm here. Right on. And I just want to see. This is actually kind of cool because if it's just going right through YouTube, I mean, and apparently there's no lag, which is I'm actually pretty impressed with. You guys can let me know really how that feels. This is just like the title says, a test. So if you guys have any comments or questions, concerns, just blast them into the chat, and you let me know. Quality sucks. Some of you that are in here, I know you guys come to my live streams on LiveStream. So let me know how it feels. Does this feel a little bit better? Do you like this? Do you like it integrated in the YouTube fashion? All that stuff. You guys let me know. Try to do what's easier for you guys and to have some stuff going on. The one thing I'm interested in finding out, I'm not sure. I believe I have to create the video ahead of time. And I'm not sure exactly how that works for people that want to get like a notification saying, you know, oh, the stream's live or that sort of stuff. Hey, no problem, man. I'm just glad you can make it. I know this won't be as robust. Try not to do too much talking. It's just I know it gets a little weird when it's just empty air going on. All right, I want the background. I don't want it to get too busy with the buildings. Like this one's probably perfect for the building in the background. I just want like a simple design because I know the characters are going to go over top of it. And I know there's one in here where you see it all the time when people draw skyscrapers. Just give me 1 second. I guess this is a good time to test this out just to see something. 1 second. Okay, we're back. The cats, you know how they like to go. You hear like a whole bunch of banging, and then it sounds like your whole kitchen's collapsing. You see them run away in the opposite direction. You know some shit went down. Not like it. Yeah, that's what I like, man. The fact that it can be HD for you guys, because that was the other concern. People were like, it's almost looks like it's being recorded with a potato, and that's I don't want to say it's all live stream, but the internet I have isn't amazing, so. And my streaming capabilities are pretty limited, so I'm just trying to find something here that just, you know what, let's just do this. And YouTube, I mean, everything else I do is on YouTube, so may as well do it on there. I think I found one back here that was pretty gross. Fine, I guess. Like this is what I was talking about. This is the one that's it feels like everybody draws this. And I'm just concerned this might make it look a little busy. What the hell? We'll throw it in. See how it works. So you just drag it in. What's that, Lars? If someone is subscribing to your channel and you plan a stream in advance, one will get a notification. Example, the show will start in 59 minutes. Okay, that's cool. It just sucks for like on the cuff streaming. But, I mean, it's not that hard to just sort of wing it and make a post. But thank you. That's great information to hear because that's what I'm interested in. If it's easier for you guys to... participate in this. So let me close this here. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate this path layer as well. Because we've got, I call them two faces of a rectangle, right? We're going to Control T just to transform it. right click on here, distort. And a lot of this I'm just sort of winging, which, you know, I don't I wouldn't recommend doing, especially with perspective. Oops, let's hold shift here so she doesn't move around too much. And you can see what we're doing here. I'm just trying to line it up with that guy right there, with this face of the wall. Now the tricky part is getting the part that's vanishing off to the side here. So what you got to do is somewhat, again, this is why eyeballing this is really bad, but you start to look for other lines. So this line at the top of the roof is going across to the right. Can you guys even see my cursor? I feel like if I turn it on, it'll get that silly yellow thing around it. Maybe we can try it. I don't know. But anyway, that's the perspective we're trying to follow. So this side's got to come down. And what I actually like to use, and you guys can't see this, is I actually have just like a literal ruler you would use for drawing. And I just put it on the Cintiq here, and I just line up my lines and just feel the perspective and pretend that that perspective point is off the side of my Cintiq. And what that lets me do is it lets me fix my perspective according to what it should be easily, you know. Yeah, I've got a ruler going and should work. Perspective is a scary thing sometimes. Alright, this side's got to come in. And I know some people hate doing this sort of thing because it's tedious and you may as well just draw it. Can't argue it. But like I say, I'm not going for 100% accuracy here because I know a lot of this is going to get covered up. But I just need the illusion to work here. So I think that looks... See, I was about to say that looks good, but then you can start to look over here and you see how this is a straight line, but the path that I'm here using is like not there. You can't see it. Okay, let's try to see if I can turn it on here. I saw it somewhere. I think it's my preferences. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the stream. General performance. No, advanced. Yeah, well, if doing backgrounds is all you need to do, period, then you're all right. All right. Maybe it's in my settings here. Change source. No, that is not it. I swear I had seen it, so I apologize. We'll get there. Where are we at here? New layer, output. I know I had seen it, but for some reason it's not showing up here. I know it's not a big deal. Maybe I had to do it before we started. Yeah, I think it was before. It was actually through YouTube on that. Or wait, maybe it's this button here. Nope. Okay, well, we'll figure it out later. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's fix this here. So we're going to have that and just hold shift. What we're doing is I'm just bringing it over to where it should be. And this does get a little silly from time to time because you got to line it up with... Oh, crap. You got to line it up with certain lines that are very hard to see because they're way off panel. think this is good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to press enter to confirm the transformation, and we're going to go to layer. I have a whole new layer here. I'm actually going to change my brush size to 2 to make it even smaller because I know a lot of these lines are going to start overlapping. And paths, there's a stroke button. I believe it's this one. There we go. You can kind of see it there. We're going to have to do some erasing, but it's fine. And we'll do the last side. Control transformation, distort. Yeah, I'm doing the, you can hear it going in the background. Let me know if it's too distracting for you guys. If you're hearing, like, you probably hear in the background. It's right there by the mic. There's not much sound going on in the room right now. So let me know if that's distracting you guys. I can always turn that off. But that's more for me. When I'm talking and with you guys and stuff, it kind of gets, it's a little pointless. But the reason why I say it's a little pointless is because if I'm worrying about just drawing by a certain time to get something, you know, like to hit your deadline, it's hard because I want to talk about like instructing a little bit. Alright, so this side's got to come over to line up with this side here. This has got to come over a little bit more. Like that. Now this I'm actually going to bring over because I want it to hit the whole side, and we're going to erase it. You'll see when we get there. No rush. Alright, we got all that there. And this can be a little bit of a pain because I have to line up these sides here. So the perspective gets... Hey, Eric. Actually, Eric, it's good to hear see you here, buddy. I tried Pictaro based off your recommendation there, and everything looked fine. And, I mean, thanks for even recommending it to begin with. I'm not going to get mad or anything. Anyway, I checked it out, and it was the only thing that sucked with it that I thought sucked was a lot of the basic features of it I couldn't use unless I paid. And don't get me wrong, I mean that makes sense. You need to make money to you need to spend money to make money, all that good stuff. But there's so many services out there that are doing what that they want to do, but for free, and it just sort of sucked. Things like recording and. What was the other one that was a big turnoff? I forget. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, because of what you said, I've been looking around for other places to possibly stream. So, for better or for worse, thanks for helping kick me in the ass to move around. And some people have already voiced complaints about they wish that there was other services and stuff. So it's not a massive deal. I think we're kind of getting there. Oh, no, yeah, I know. It wasn't... Oh, I gotta think off the top of my head. Oh, here, give me a second. I'll just go to Pictaro right now. Let's see what it was. Pictaro.tv is not available? That can't be right. Picardo. That's the name of the site, not Pictaro. Man, I've been calling it wrong the whole time. Picardo. All right, let's see what it was here. Just click on that. So the free version lets streaming free for everybody. Yep, I get a custom header, and I get to upload an avatar, which is fine. Where was? Okay, so download your latest recorded stream, which is great for people that... Oh, this was the two big things. Okay, and at least what I had seen, and if I'm wrong, then maybe we can come back and check this out. But let's say I did a stream and on Wednesday, right? And we're done. that stream actually doesn't save as a past broadcast, apparently, from what I'm looking at, and I could be wrong, which sucks because now nobody can just kind of check out the site and freely click what they want. And then the other part that sucks is I can't download the stream like I can on LiveStream so that I can upload it to YouTube for people that want to watch that at their convenience, right? I can, however, I can do all those things, but I have to spend $10 a month. Which, you know, hey, if the service is awesome and all things, by all means. But live streams, and anyway, I can do all of that for free. The quality's garbage and all that stuff. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's something that can at least get up to live streams quality. Anyway, I don't want to bash it too much because I've actually been hooked on that site, and I've been hopping between Twitch and Picardo.tv to watch other artists draw and stuff, and I think it's a great site. I think it's really good. Lars, one thing I'm missing from the live stream is the pop-up feature on the chat. Right now the chat is kind of big and the video is kind of small. Let me know. If you might be able to, I don't think you can pop it out. I'm not sure if you can do that kind of thing. But if you just make the video, if you go into like theater mode, next to the settings on the video, it should make it bigger for you. That might help, but I know what you're saying with the pop-up. Just set the OBS to record itself, which will save to your computer. Okay, I don't know what the OBS is. Is that the recording software? Because if that's the case, then we might just end up going that route with it. Oh, these new terms. Oh, man. Whoops. All right, let's see if we can get this here. Come on, you bastard. I think it's this side that's got to get fixed. It's not down enough. Even more. Wow. This is crazy. It's a tall ass building. Oh, look how far down we are. This is insane. And the reason I'm going this low is because like the window panes on this side. This is so hard to see. And now it's starting to like warp up here. See, this tends to happen. You see how we're getting like this bend in there? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's actually warping, which happens a lot. So we're going to have to try this again. When you really start distorting things, even though they're just straight lines, oh my god. You start getting some funny things. When I was working on the hero code, oh buddy, was it insane. I didn't even notice until I started stroking the path, and it was like everything was Warp City, and I didn't even notice it until I started doing inks, and I looked at it, I was like, why did that even happen? I have no clue why it did that. And since then, since I've been doing this for a while, I've noticed that's how it happens, and it's just like, once you see it, it's just so funny. It's one of the best programs I've used, so lightweight. Okay, open broadcast software. All right, thank you. I'm going to check that out and see if that will help. But the past broadcasts, I guess, yeah, that wouldn't really wouldn't matter, because if you want everybody to be going to YouTube anyway to watch your old stuff, right? Unless I'm thinking about it wrong. I'll just get my ruler out here just to see the perspective. So this side's got to go up. Oh, right on. Well, that's shorter than what it took for the YouTube one to get started, I'll tell you that. So you use, so you live stream on Picardo.tv, and you use OBS to stream and you set it to record to your computer. Have you uploaded those or not? I haven't checked out your channel for those. Because I'd like to see the quality and things. Because what's really cool too, guys, is anybody that's on Twitch or enjoys video game streams and stuff, anytime you can get like a notification that your favorite streamer is streaming, it's huge. Alright, we're getting into the noodles here. I think, like I say, most of this is going to get covered up. That's fine. Spending too much time here. Let's make a new layer, and we're going to stroke the path. Alright, now what we got to do is just go in here and erase everything. I'm just going to merge it below, turn the opacity down so I can see around it. Yes, I did actually grab... Okay, thanks, Eric. Alright, so we got an eraser here, and... Oops, got my caps lock on. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to actually trim the whole top off here. And what this does is it gives it like a little trim at the top, so when I go to color it, I can put like a little capper on there. I always call it that. I don't even think it's a thing. Delete that side and get on this side here. And once we get into inks, I always feel like I have to defend this sort of background work. But once we get to inks, usually you can transform this stuff into looking less static. So I find it easier to get dynamic shots this way, like worry about it in the thumbnail level. And then once you get in here, you can start worrying about nailing the perspective and making everything look pretty. Oops, forgot all of this in here. So it looks okay. I just want to try something. Just want to make it duplicate the layer, just see if it looks better darkened. Alright, thanks Eric. I'm just going to copy that right now and just save it off screen here. Notepad. Alright, thanks bud. I might reach out to you in like today or tomorrow, if you don't mind. And if you feel like replying, that'd be awesome. Whenever you got free time, just to let me know what's up, if I'm having any problems with some of this stuff. All right, so got a problem here. We got a problem. So I'm going to do here, because this is actually giving me a little bit of trouble, even though I know a lot of these things are going to get covered up, I can't do this. Here, let me show you guys a big bobo here. So I'm going to do something. We're going to get some lines. Okay, we're going to transform that. Basically trying to figure out this perspective. You can see what I'm doing is I'm comparing it with lines that we've already established, and you can see right away how wrong this perspective is. So what I like to do, I should have done this before. I forgot about it. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes if I'm like, or if you guys, if you're on stream, or if you talk to friends, or if you're showing somebody how you draw stuff, as you go, a lot of techniques that you just forget. Like steps and things. So in my case, it's this. Usually I'll have like some rough idea of the perspective in here besides just triangles, and do this sort of thing where I know the plane of this perspective, and I'm just making a straight line and rotating it to specific lines so that I can understand the perspective. Because if you look at this whole side of the building, it's absolutely wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off this layer. We're just going to do this one more time. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Where did that go? That's what we want. Okay, so just gotta drag it back in here again. Alright, so Control T to transform. You're on Skype all time? Okay, awesome. Thank you again. So right click, distort. Alright, so let's line this up again. Just when you thought we were done looking at this path crap. Now we're going to hold shift so that it goes across right. Grab this corner, we're going to line it up with that side. Alright, so now it's very easy to adjust the perspective correctly. Alright, so let me line it up to where it's supposed to be. You can see how the lines are getting a little they're not lining up 100%. So what you can do is you can just like click one of these layers, hold shift, and just move it up or down, trying to get it to line up. Sometimes, like especially with this sort of thing, it's not 100%, but anything's better than what we had. So this looks way better. So I'm going to go ahead and stroke that on a new layer. Oh, here we go. Photoshop getting silly. Hey guys. You know, I'm glad to see a whole bunch of new faces and stuff in here. What's cool, what I like about this is if I can get this going, we should be able to stream like whenever, so that should be fun. The Google stream so far, I mean, you guys let me know in the chat. You guys are the ones that this matters to. I already have my workflow that I do with LiveStream. It's fine for what I need. The one downside is that there's post-production where I have to render the video out to upload it to YouTube. But with this, when I'm done on YouTube or Google Hangouts is the other one, tomorrow actually, Will Robson and I, if we're lucky, we're going to try to get a happy sketch time so you guys can check that out. But when you're done, you can just upload it. It's like it's already uploaded to YouTube. There's nothing you have to do, which saves me a whole bunch of time, and it helps you guys because the content can just get released right away. You don't got to wait until like a Sunday way after to watch the stream. However, there's the other resource, Picardo.tv, that Eric brought up. And he said there's a way that I can record it. It kind of goes back to the live stream thing, but what it does is it lets you follow, and if you're interested in following, then, you know, there's some things. So I don't know. I'm still up in the air. I've got to test both before I can make an educated decision on that. Oh, I 100%, Lars. 100%. Anyway, so let's get this done here. So let's hit enter. Let's get our brush correct. Oops. Now there we go. That's the Photoshop you want to see. Ready for it? Watch it crash, guys. This is going to be amazing. The one thing I love about Photoshop right here. It's my favorite. Yep, the quality too should be better on YouTube here. Some people are saying it's like HD. If it's not, you can change your little gear symbol there to make it HD. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, spin baby, spin. Let me check the when you record it though, you set the final recording details, which will, oh, perfect. Hey, can it be that easy? My CPU right now is at 90%. It's cooking. And I know that's Photoshop right now. I think, no, this is, it should be Manga Studio 5 because it should make this easier, except with backgrounds, like with city buildings. I'm a big fan of the path tool in Photoshop. So I think what's happening here, and we're going to see how much I saved, which is going to be absolutely wonderful. It's not responding. Violet is asking, is art your main job for now? Yes, it is. My day job is I work for a company called iDream Interactive. You guys can check us out on Facebook. If you like match 3 games or casino games, they're pretty simple in terms of the kind of style of video game it is. I'm a big role-playing game fan and like Street Fighter, fighting games, Diablo, that kind of stuff. We're such a small team that we can't really make that stuff now. But you can check out Super Gem Heroes on Facebook. That's a game that's like a match 3. I believe Slot Universe is the slot game that you can check out. But that's what I do for the day job. My nighttime job is comic books. I absolutely love comics. And as you can see, I love it so much that I'm sitting here with Photoshop spinning away. I'm hoping. There's this hope in the back of my head that this is going to get fixed. That it's going to just go, okay, there you go. That's what you wanted. Didn't Manga Studio 5 add paths? Hey, I don't know. I think you're right, it did, but I don't know if it does it like Photoshop does it, where I can save a batch of like face paths like this. I wish I had more time to look into all this stuff, to be honest with you guys. And right now with Worlds in Peril, I'll just give you guys a little info. Tomorrow, or actually today, once my work with Worlds in Peril is done, I'm going to be working on the questions and answers. I haven't done one of those in a while. It's probably been about 2 months worth of stuff. So it's going to be a long-winded one, if you're into that. But I lost my train. I lost my train of thought on that. Oh, that's what it was. So my routine right now until about mid-March, hopefully mid-March, Worlds in Peril will be done. But this is my routine. I know some of you guys might get a kick out of this. While I hope that the spinning thing doesn't, whatever. So this is my routine. I get up at 7. I might start getting up at 6:30 just so I can set my day up. So 6:30, I get up. I get on my laptop. I check all my social media, emails, contact information. It's the business side of doing what we do, right? I know a lot of us will upload art and do things like that for fun, and you just want to share with the world, which is great. That's where all of my stuff started, except now it's starting to turn into when I make my own comics and stuff, I'd like you guys to know more about it. So there has to be a business side to it, at least for a marketing side, and that sounds greasy and stuff like that, but I have to figure out ways that I can get people interested or show more people my stuff, and maybe I'll get some people that like it, and if that's the case, like, that's awesome. So that once I start releasing content, like YouTube videos or comic books, you guys know about it, right? So that's from 6:30 to 7, and in that time, I'll get my breakfast, what I'm going to have for the day. I get that, I go have a shower, shave, brush my teeth, all that good stuff, and get ready to go to work, and I leave at 8 o'clock, and I start at 8:30. So then from 8:30 to 4:30, I work at the video game company doing concept art and design, and then I get home around 5, and this is where the life is gone, at least right now. I should say too, in the morning when I'm doing all the social media stuff, I also set up my to-do list for the day, because the deadline right now for Worlds in Peril is insane. That this next month and a half, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. But I have to set up what I'm doing once I get out of work and I come home. And then from 5 to 6, I figure out something that I can quickly eat, which is not good for my body. It's quick food. It's nothing. I don't want to say it's disgusting food, but it's like, your pastas, your quick stuff. So that from 6 to about 11 is working 100% on Worlds in Peril. And then from about 11 to 12, that's when I get to relax. And by relaxing, that's usually get ready for bed. And I might read a book or play a video game or something like that. And that's the routine. And it sucks. And yes, like Violet, what you just said there, do I get tired of drawing to the point that you can't do it at all for a few days? That's almost every day. Unfortunately, this is where the professional side kind of comes out. If this is something you want to do, you are not going to want to draw every day. You'll like drawing, and I think that should be a goal of yours. Sorry, while I'm rambling here, I need to see what's going on. This is stupid. This isn't working. Okay, so let me just... Come on. Why did you die? Alright, we're going to close it. This has actually happened to me before, and it's one of the things I love about Manga Studio. I've never experienced this once, ever. And that's probably a testament to my computer as well. But when this happens, there's a tendency you'll see. I'm going to open it, and we might get the dreaded, oh, sorry, file's been corrupted. And then I'm shit out of luck. And in that case, I think we might just stick in Manga Studio. I don't know. To finish this. But anyway, I didn't mean to ramble. But what is my main goal in my art for my career? If it was specifically just for me, it's I would like to be a comic book artist. If my job could be telling stories, being a storyteller, that would be amazing. That's not to say the day job I have I hate or I don't want to do. It's very fun. It's rewarding in its own ways. But comic books is one of those things that has been a passion of mine since I was a little boy, like I'm sure most of you guys, or eventually got into comics. The thing is, comics are very hard to get into. I would say it's probably one of the hardest things. And when I say get into it, it's the big company side. Everybody can make their own comics, right? And doing that sort of thing. So if that's the case, that's why I'm kind of talking about the business side of it, because if you want to make your own comics and sell it, you totally can. The internet's awesome. But you got to lay that foundation, and it takes time to snowball. Because you're usually one person. You probably don't got a lot of money to throw at marketing, advertising, making a whole new brand new website, and all sorts of things, right? So it's like an entrepreneur thing. Yeah, no shit, I ran out of time here. I can't even close Photoshop. This is amazing. There we go. Holy hell. Close the program. Yes, please. I love that when you have to wait for... There is no solution to the problem. I love that. It's like, it's run out, you're done. The file's done, and it's like, okay, close it. And it's like, wait, we're going to find to see if there's a solution. And it's like, there's no solution. All right, so this is the moment of truth, and I'm going to answer your question there, Violet. File. Open recent. It's not even showing up, so that's a good sign. It's a good sign that we've lost it. Oh, man. This is the best part about doing digital and deadlines. It's like, oh, sorry, you just... It's all gone. You get nothing now. All right, lines. No, this is... No, it is lines that I want, right? Page 44. Here we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Dun-dun-dun-dun. See the big error. All right. All right, well, okay, I'm not that sad. I'm sad, but at least everything's still there. And, sorry, guys. I'll be out of this as soon as we can so we can start drawing some cool bodied people and stuff like that. Oh, this is ridiculous. Again, thank you, everybody that's here and helping me out, telling me if the stream sucks, the quality sucks, Photoshop sucks. Get back in among the studio where I belong. I hear you. What I want is Alright, so I gotta go here. So, okay, so Violet Jewel is asking, do I ever regret about taking this career path? No. There's definitely those moments where I feel like, how come it hasn't happened to me yet, And I think a lot of artists feel that. Like, how much more time do you have to put into comics or drawing before you make it? And I'm 32 years old. There's that picture that always goes around about Jack Kirby didn't start making Fantastic Four, which I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know. I'm not a huge comic historian, but I believe Fantastic Four was his first Marvel work. And if he was 44 when he did that, it's sort of like a, hey, you know what? There's no rush. Just get better, get good. And eventually, if it's meant, I don't want to say if it's meant to happen. Eventually, if you've worked hard enough, opportunities should start presenting themselves. But I that sort of puts like this little thought in my head where it's, you don't have to wait that long as long as you're working hard. And I'm not saying Kirby didn't work hard, but that was a different time, right? Today's world, it's like you can be 17 and you're getting picked up for comic books, right? You're getting picked up to do concept art. You're getting picked up for whatever. You can be your own person and sell bajillions of dollars in books, right? Sorry, I'm just trying to find where the hell this went. Art. Master reference artist. Okay, so in saying all that, no, I don't regret it. The one thing that I would say is just know that it's a waiting game. And when I say it's a waiting game, that doesn't mean you just sit around and wait. It means every day you should be working if you can. Okay, I'll just say if you can, because everybody's got different lives. Everybody's got different things. I don't have kids. I do have a girlfriend, so like my time commitments are not the same as somebody else that has an entire family to support. Okay, but you should be, if it's something you want, you should be aware of it, and it should be pretty important to you, right? You should be wanting it. And in saying that, I feel like if it's something that you want to get done, if it's something that you really want, you need to be working today as if you had that job already. And the sort of saying, that's weird. Why did that do that? Yes, delete that. Let's say you want to work for Marvel right now. You want to draw Spider-Man, but you don't. You're not working for Spider-Man. Maybe it's because your art's not there. It's whatever you want to tell yourself, right? The reason why you don't have something, you can give yourself a bunch of reasons why. But in my opinion, it's the idea and the ideology I try to pound into my head, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. But it's you get in that mentality that you are working for Spider-Man. You are drawing these massive projects. Whatever you want, you have that. You're doing that right now. Just because you're in your art studio or wherever you draw, and you don't even know how to draw a head in certain perspectives. That's what you're worried about right now. You need to figure that out. That's fine. But to have not that cocky attitude, not at all. I'm a huge believer of being very humble. People know more than you. That's good. Okay, people know more than you, but always trying to figure out how to get better. That's the goal. And a professional, and this could just be me, and I'm just going to get on my soapbox for a second here. A professional is somebody that's always getting better and always working hard. Even if you think, and I could be wrong on this, and we're all allowed to share different opinions on it, that's fine. But if you think for a second that somebody that's working on Spider-Man again, I don't know why he's the guy, but if somebody's working on Spider-Man right now, that they just draw Spider-Man, go home, watch a movie, jerk off, and like that's their whole day, like you are sorely mistaken. I remember an artist telling me that, think about it this way, and this might get scary for you guys. A lot of you guys look up to Jim Lee, fantastic artist, fantastic comic book artist. I love him too. Love his stuff. But if you don't think for a second that you're competing for his job, as you know, weird as that might sound, as industrial as that might sound, like, you know, I like this guy, I don't want to be taking his job, but that's the job. You have to be the guy. You got to be the girl. You got to be the one that's, holy shit, we can't wait to get more of you. Right? So how do you do that? How do you go after titans and gods? I like to call them gods. Gods of comics. Either whether you read manga, whoever you look up to, it's all the same. There's people there that are successful, and you got to figure out what it is you're doing, or what the hell it is you can do to take their job in a courteous way, you know, in a I've worked hard and I believe in myself, that confidence and all that stuff that comes with it. But that involves working every day as hard as you can when you can, right? If you can't work for days on end because of life, hey, who the hell would chew you out? And like that whole Nike thing that a lot of people live by, just do it. I'm not a big fan of that. Just because it makes it sound easy and difficult at the same time, if that makes sense. Whereas opposed to it's, if you've got the time, just get it in your head that there's nothing wrong with what you do. There's nothing wrong with how you work. There's just better ways to do all of it. And if you can figure out how it is to do that, do that. And most of it, honestly, boils down to A, asking questions, and B, drawing better than you did yesterday. Drawing today better than you did yesterday. And it's and after that, I mean, I don't want to say it's a matter of time before you're like, okay, well, I'm picked up by big companies. Yeah, we're awesome. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's probably a good practice. And this is just me talking. I don't work for these companies. I make comic books. I make art. I love doing this stuff. I'm very sad by the fact that one day I'll die and I won't get a chance to do this anymore. And to me, I don't want to get all, soapy on you guys, but that to me is very scary. Scarier than the fact of dying. I'm not afraid of. It's the fact that, man, I don't get to draw anymore. Like that's such a bum out. And I'm not sure for you guys and you girls, but for me, drawing has been the place where I can go to escape. It can be the place where I can go where, I just want to be alone for a while. Just do this. It doesn't really matter what's going on with the world. Well, it does, but it doesn't matter what's going on outside of your world. You can just, it's a safety blanket. It was a way that I could get recognition and the good feels from people, like Oh, what's the proper word I'm looking for that? Um, I'm drawing a blank here while I'm trying to figure out this perspective. Basically, the approval of people, right? And not that you're looking for that, I don't think, but it's nice to. Art is beautiful, especially comic book art. There's nothing in my mind besides concept art that I love more. Um, and this is really going into some weird territory with you guys. All right, sorry. All right, let's just go back to what you guys are saying there. Oh god. Before that, Kirby was doing romance and Western comics. Okay, awesome. So the moral, I guess, obviously the moral of the story is he wasn't 44 and then just showed up and then he was like, all right, guys, I'm here now. I'm going to make some superhero books and they're going to be the best. All right, what view on watch page? I just closed the wrong thing here. Let's see if I can go back. Okay, there we go. We're back. What was I saying? Yeah. So even Kirby obviously was working before he was working. Before he got huge, juicy and huge. I think I actually picked a different face path too on this one. Normally this doesn't take this long, guys. It's not the most enjoyable part of this, I'll tell you that. Once it's done and I get to draw characters over top of this and then you can't even see the background, it's all worth it. You want to talk about being efficient, don't necessarily do this. Oh my gosh, come on. Get in. There we go. Lars, Jonathan, can I ask what you are doing to make it? In quotes. I mean, do you still send out sample pages and stuff? Okay, so that's actually a really good question. And I'm glad you asked it. I think a lot of people wonder that sort of stuff. I know I always have when I'd like follow new artists and all that cool stuff. So how I do this stuff changes year to year, or month to month, or even week to week. It depends what day of the month you ask me. You're gonna get a different response. For right now, I guess it just depends on what it is that I want or that you guys want, right? What is it that you want to get out of your art? Yada yada yada. So I want to. It's been 2 or 3 years now. How long is it? Trying to do some math in my head. Since New York Comic Con, which was in 2012, was the last time I've been to a convention. I've never had my own booth. I've always gone with a portfolio to submit to Marvel DC. I've had multiple sit downs with Marvel, but it never turned into anything. So for a little while there, I was discouraged for sure, but it was mostly like, you know what? I've been hearing all these entrepreneurs and other people talking about like you don't have to wait for blah 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 blah. Make your own comics and stuff, and I still want to do that, but I haven't given up on that dream of one day being able to draw like the Hulk or Marvel characters or some DC characters, right? To me that's if I would be able to do that, that's like a huge achievement. Not that I would gloat about it or anything, but that's something I'd be able to tell my kids, or just for me to, when you're old, I romanticize with this idea. I don't know if you guys do or you don't. What the fuck? What did I do here? 1 second. Sorry, I got distracted again. Back to this. Ugh. Okay, so I romanticize about the idea of when I get older, you don't have anything to do, maybe you're drawing or whatever, starting your day off. And it's like you look back on the good old days kind of thing. And you just kind of sit back and you look at like what it is you did in your life. It's like all those little giddy dreams you had when you were a kid and stuff. Were you able to do those things? Did you lose the dream? Did your dream change on you? What? And being able to do something like, for me, the biggest thing I wish that I'll be able to do one day is work on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That would be if I did that and not like superheroes, I would be content. But that's not to say I'm just like, all right, well, as long as I want to see how much I can get with this stuff, right? I think most of us do. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think most of us have a goal or a dream, something similar to that. Whether it's you're trying to prove it to people that told you couldn't do something, or if it's like, oh, you'll never work for Marvel or DC or whatever. You kidding? Like, it's you. You're not the kind of person that would get that kind of job. Just horse shit. But I romanticize about that idea of just one day sitting back on my recliner or whatever the hell, whatever old people like to do. Just talk about, it was cool for a few of my years or whatever. I was drawing Avengers, or I was drawing Black Panther, or something, whatever. Something that just makes you smile that you did in your art. And that can be, I did some Jessup King work and people liked it. It was cool. I know some of you guys have no idea who the hell that is, but that's fine. So saying all that, sorry, this honestly should not be taking this long. Is that the right line? Oh my god. This is what you get for trying to cheat. I should just draw this myself like a real artist. Whoops. Come on. Alright. So that's it. We're going to stroke that. And then I'm moving on. I'm getting sick of this stuff. Alright, let's merge these layers down. I'm going to lower the opacity. And we're going to delete the outside. Make a contour layer. And then I'm done with Photoshop. I need to get in here and start drawing, or I'm going to lose my mind. We're going to jump back into the program I should be in right now, which is Monk Studio. Okay, so I don't even know if I answered your question here. Sorry, Lars. What am I doing to make it? So, okay, I really went off on it. I apologize for the tangents, you guys. So what I'm looking to do this year is saving up to hit Chicago. It's Chicago Comic Con is close to me. I used to go there almost every year for a few years, and it's like a 30-minute plane ride. I might drive this time. We'll see. And Toronto Fan Expo, obviously in Canada. That's like a 4-hour drive. And my goals for those, I was talking to my buddy Will Robson about this, is I want to bring some portfolios to these companies like usual. I think anybody that's going to these conventions that wants to work with these people, whether you're shy or not, that's one thing. But bring a portfolio. You never know what you're going to get. I'm going to make a few portfolios for them, and I'm thinking about it. I was like, I could just do like an X-Men portfolio or something, and then just give that out. And Will brought up a point that I don't know why it escaped me or whatever, but it's, DC probably doesn't want to look at a portfolio that's Marvel characters, right? They want people that like, I would love to work for DC, So how do you do that? What do you do to get around that? Or maybe you draw a Batman comic and you're like, but I wouldn't mind doing Wolverine, stuff like that. And what Will suggested, which is genius, and again, I don't know why I didn't think about it at the time, is just make your own superheroes. Make a team. Make a single person, whatever. Make the Avengers, make the JLA. Very, you can't really tell which company is which. And the idea behind that, obviously, is that is that these companies would see your stuff and they'll go, oh, okay, this guy wants, or this girl wants to just draw comics, blah, 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 blah. So I'll be working on that. I'll be sharing it with you guys too on YouTube. I figure you guys get a kick out of it, just seeing what I'm bringing to the shows, see if it maybe helps you out, or seeing what not to do, give a post-game wrap-up, how I screwed it up, or any of that stuff. Outside of that, the only other goals are I would like to be able to do more my own comic book work, besides working for clients. There's nothing wrong working with clients. I enjoy it, but it's I want to see if there's even a want, or if people even care of any of my own stuff. I like the idea of writing, comics, stories, and stuff like that. So I want to make a little bit more of a push towards that. So once Worlds in Peril is done, I'm probably not going to be taking on any more client work unless its covers are very quick things, so I can spend my time doing my own stuff. So that's, Scorpion that somebody talked about. We can talk more about that if you guys are interested. Castle Dracula, I definitely want to get out by October. I think it just makes sense. What else we got? There's another one that I forget. You guys know me. I jump around between ideas all the time, so just trying to stay busy with it. So that's my goal at least this year. Oh, and there's another video I'll be releasing because I just love sharing all this stuff with you guys because I think you guys get a kick out of it. But what's it called? Not working from home, but homeschooling yourself. Just sort of like a routine, like what is it that I do? You guys might get a kick out of it, but that's what I'm looking forward to doing, is starting another home schooling routine. I need to brush up on anatomy, a whole bunch of skills, and it's been a little while since I've had some solid sit-down time. So once this is done, I'll be able to free up, or I'll have free time to be able to go back and check some of this out. So you guys can check that out. Yeah, Spectacular Z, that was another one. Nimrod. Yes, okay, this is one of my favorite quotes ever, by Arnold Schwarzenegger. When you're out there partying, horsing around, someone out there at the same time is working hard. Someone is getting smarter, and someone is winning. Just remember that. And obviously the meaning behind that is have fun, enjoy life and stuff, but just remember, if you don't have something you want, if the majority of your time is spent not doing that you want, what makes you think something's going to change for you to get that? Right? Why do you deserve, I guess, in a certain sense? Like, what is going on with this brush? Oh, I got the wrong brush here. So I actually have a wallpaper of that that I put on from time to time on my background, where it's just a way to remind myself. I'm a big Magic the Gathering player. I don't know if anybody else in here likes Magic. If you guys have played it sometime, hopefully you share the same love for that game as I do. And for the last couple of weeks, I was able to go on Friday nights. That was literally my social event. So you can see how nerdy or just busy I am, whatever you like. And I really like the fact that I could get out of my house and just do that. Not think about drawing, all that stuff. It's just get out there and have some fun with some people and have a good time. But because now of the deadline that I have, I can't. I just can't. There's no time to have that social life, right? And the only thing that I don't want to say the only thing that gets me through it, because I'm not a big social guy. It's not like I look forward to it. Where it's like I can't wait to stop drawing so I can go hang out with friends. I've never really been that kind of guy. However, just hearing that Schwarzenegger quote always makes me feel good, where it's like, just because you're not out there socializing, if you even want to and stuff, and it sucks that you're here putting the hours in and things, you're working hard to get what you want. And there's people out there that they should be working. They should be, right? Maybe they're just partying too much or just playing video games too much, but they should be working. And it's people like you that are doing what you're doing that sets the foundation for greatness and like things that happen, whether it's in comics or whatever your medium of choices that you like to work in, Yes, I saw Netflix is picking up a Zelda live action series. That should be interesting. That should be really interesting. Wooter. Is that how you say name? Wooter? I like that name. That's nice. Wooter Winter. That flows real good. That sounds like a badass name, Wooter Winter. Actually, what I'm going to do here, I like to keep these little pieces of paper around for writing. So right now I'm working on a project called Scorpion. And I want it to be themed like 80s action movies. Real cheesy, real, where's my woman? And it's like Double Dragon sort of stuff. And the bad guys, they beat the woman up or whatever. Just stupid stuff. And the guy has to fight through all these guys to get to that stuff where you'll see like your main character, he's ripped or he's just a kung fu master, and he's going against all the mob bosses, minions and cronies and drones and stuff, and they all know, they're all like, they've either got guns, they look badass, they're big, they fight, they're really difficult guys, and your main character just kind of goes through them like they're butter, like a knife through butter. And then when you get to the mob boss, it's like a fat guy smoking a cigar, totally doesn't look like somebody that could fight. And that guy just starts handing the hero's ass to him. It looks so stupid, but it's sort of like that. That's the way it goes. And then the hero wins eventually and saves the girl or whatever. Like that greasy kind of I just love those movies. So I'm just going to write down your name here, Wouter, if that's how you say it, Wouter Winter. I might make your name a character in there because I just like the flow of that. That's got some punch to it. So, Wouter Winter. I like that winter part. It's real slick. And if you made up the name, hey, that's that's cool too. I'm actually going to get into Manga Studio here in a second here. I just wanted to see. Winter's asking, why don't I use the stuff I did for the standard for my portfolio? The reason for that is it's very... I used to do that. And the hard part is picking 5 to 8 pages that best represent a coherent story. And what ends up happening is you start shoehorning pages in, or things don't really fit, and you're like, well, there's a part that happens here that's not my best, even though at the time it was, and it's not my current work. It's not a specifically done portfolio for a company. It's, this is what I've been doing. This is what I did for these clients. If you like it, you can hire me. Whereas, in my opinion anyway, if I'm going to try to apply at a place like a company, they deserve something that's more for them. And I would hope that my ability and drawing skills have improved since the last time that I drew a comic. So the standard should look worse than what I send these companies. And I'm making a specific pitch. I have a 5 or 6 page story arc, right? Heroes show up, defeat villain. It's contained. I'm showing things in there that should help me land the job, or at least show an editor that's, okay, this person knows something about comics. Maybe I'm interested. Here's my business card. The business card is most often than not the most important thing, or the best thing you can get when you go to these shows, that the editor is interested in continuing a conversation with you. So when I go there, I know I need to show certain things to show them, like giant backgrounds, if that's what I like to do. Heavy action. Depends on what style it is that I like to draw. I have to show that and communicate that to these people. And it's far more efficient, even though it takes more time, but it's far more efficient to do that as opposed to trying to pick the best pages of a certain issue that I've drawn in. Do you know what I'm saying? And there is the other side of it where it's like, well, now I can show these editors that maybe they've heard of the standard. I don't know. But they're like, oh, you're the guy that did this, la la la. Right? That's fine. But I would rather go the other direction where it's, here's some stuff, and they look at it and they like that. And then they find out that you might have published work or whatever. I really don't think it matters if you have necessarily published work before. It definitely helps, especially the caliber of the titles that they are, right? If you've got DC titles under your belt and you try to apply for Marvel, that's a huge thing. But that's why I'm trying to just do a custom portfolio for that sort of thing. Aaron Young is saying, I was told the best portfolios tell a single story and show animals, casual people, superheroes, backgrounds, break some stuff, metallic surface like Cyborg. That's exactly right. And I can't necessarily say that the pages from the standard that I would put in, or any other project that I've done, have those things. Nimrod saying he doesn't know where he got this from, but it's actually really good. It's a really good quote. The only place where success comes before work is the dictionary. I love it. That's great. Aaron's saying it right. Cover every base and prove you can tell a story. That's right. No, his real name. No. Maybe I did say cheesy, but I meant in the context of the comic, where everybody's name is like something like, Max Steel, stuff like that. His name fits very well in that. And no, I think it's a kick-ass name. If that was my real name too, it's got badass to it. When your name's Winter in the end, your family, your extended family, your great blah 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 family, they fucking survived some winter, man. They were kings of winter. If you're a king of winter, you know how badass that is? That's sick. Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of a problem here. Actually, no. Okay, so let's close this. Alright, file open. We're going to open up the PSD we just did. Nope, that's not right. Where are you? Oh, right. It's under lines. Okay, so I'll show you guys this too. This is the file structure that's talked about in the DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics. I do this now religiously. It just helps my workflow, where I break down all the process that I like to work. I rarely like to just draw to completion. I like to work in batches if I'm able to, like a batch of thumbnails, a batch of line art, a batch of inks and color stuff, right? So, folder for documents, my reference if I have anything in there, thumbnails. Then I go to roughs. Then I go to my line art. Then I go to inks. Then I go to my finals. Usually, if I have a colorist that's coloring my work, the inks will be rendered into a bitmap TIFF file. I put that in final, and then I'll send that out to that cat because the ink file has layers and things. The final that the colorist needs to worry about should have nothing except just artwork. Save for web, that's usually sent for the clients. It's a small resolution file that I can send through an email. Colors should be up here after inks. But that's fine. And then I don't know why I have Manga Studio files. This is when I was transitioning to Manga Studio 4 back in the day. But this master template of like folders I have on a separate thing, so I just copy and paste it into every new project I have, so I don't have to do this every time. Where are you? Page 44. Okay, so I don't know where. Oh wait, there you are. Sneaky little bugger. All right, so we've got all this. What I want to do. Alright, okay, cool. So it is still there. Alright, so this background layer, I don't really need to do anything with it here, so I'm just going to put it down here. Let's save this up here. Save as. We're going to go ahead and save it as a Manga Studio file now. Yes, please. Easy. You make hell freeze over. How kick-ass is that? It's so good. He's crushing these 27 different... That's so good. Aaron, would you use Kickstarter to launch your own personal comic in print or go another way? Right, I'm not really concerned about print. I'll be honest with me. I'm more concerned with making a comic. If you guys have followed me for a while, or maybe you just stumbled upon me, I want to say I'm an idea guy, but I don't come up with the best ideas. I'm just an artist. And I think all of us are artists. We always get new ideas all the time. And I don't think there's a way to get around that. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. The bad thing is when we don't act on those. Like, I'm one of those guys that gets the new shiny syndrome. People have told me that I get. Where I'm always excited to work on stuff until a new shining idea comes to light. Which sounds absolutely horrible. So let me clean some of this up here. This is looking gross. Alright, so we're going to put some characters on here and this like flipping toxic thing. So you can see how much of the background we're actually going to lose. That's okay though. So right now my concern is just doing a comic. Once I get the time to do it. And I'm not looking to write Lord of the Rings and that stuff. I just want to do some fun stuff where it's like... I like to look at it like writing. Where... One of the coolest things I heard about a writer say, anyway, was that there's this thing that you're told. I think it's like your first 3 or 4 novels are shit. Don't expect anything better than shit. Because you're learning, right? It's going to take time to learn all this stuff. So, how do you fix this? Well, write 3 or 4 novels as fast and as best you can. And get them out of the way so that your 5th or 6th book that you write, now it can start be looking at it like, all right, this is we got some girth to this, this person knows what they're doing. So that's what I'm trying to do, is hammer out just comics to get out there. How I'll sell it, I don't really care right now. That's not something I'm worried about because I'm just trying to have some fun with this stuff. If I make money from it, great. Print, that's when it starts getting serious. That's what I need. You have to start worrying about, like, okay, how much money am I spending now, right? Like, that's a big deal. And right now, the biggest thing I need to worry about is just making a book, right? So, the selling part, that I'm not really concerned about that. So, Kickstarter, maybe one day with something, but nothing for any of the projects I'm doing right now. I have a Patreon site where people, if they want to throw money at me, which is always so weird, but I appreciate everybody that does. That's mostly where I feel comfortable right now, where if I'm making content like this stuff and you guys are into it and you guys want more of it, great. Any money that goes towards that, then it goes directly back into this stuff. I'm comfortable doing that until I start getting books that I think are, or just stuff that, people might be interested in getting. So let me just kind of figure this out. This hand's kind of looking weird. Yep, Kablam's awesome. I've used the only thing that sucks with Kablam is I live in Canada, so shipping is almost I can't do it. I've tried to get books from there, and it's like, okay, let's say a book is $3.99. It's been a while since I've gone there. It may have changed, but when I was there, let's say I wanted to get a book, and it was four or $5 that the person put on there, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I know it's coming from. It's going to an artist I like. Yada yada yada. The shipping ends up being like $10. When the shipping's more than the comic, then there's a problem. So I have an art book that you guys can get on there. And a lot of people, I don't know what it is, a lot of people in Europe like my stuff, which is cool. This sketched hand is really pissing me off here. So we're going to start over and do another one. But anyway, I can't get them anything because, or they can't buy anything because the shipping is even worse going overseas. But if you live in Canada, or sorry, in the US, oh hell yeah. Let's see if we can get these fingers a little bit more dynamic. Trying to feel him out, these sausage fingers. Zoom out, take a look at it. Yeah, maybe. Our forearm, this guy's massive. Can't really see much of that, so we get a shoulder in here. Yeah, I don't get it either. Customs, they'll say, like it's garbage. Alright, how's this guy? This guy's got a massive face. Let's give him all the room he needs for a jaw. Sort of want to just turn this layer off, figure this guy out. So we're going to see his back. Okay, Venom is asking, is it better to do more studies of something like the full head or just individual parts, eyes, at a time and move on to the next thing? I'll be for me, I would recommend doing both. There's no, as long as you're drawing, that's good. I think as you keep drawing, you're going to pick up on things that if you didn't just study the nose, then you wouldn't just get. If all you did was study the head, you wouldn't get how to draw a nose properly, all that kind of stuff. So I'm a big proponent of just figuring out what you're weak at and trying to just make study sessions just for that. Because no matter how good you get, you should always be wanting to improve. And you can be comfortable or satisfied to a degree of how you draw something, but you should always be trying to get better at what you're drawing. So if you suck at heads, draw more heads. And then once you start getting comfortable with heads, you might start going like, what? I can't draw a nose. This is pissing me off. Get back into noses, and then 2 years, 5 years later, you say, God, these heads I'm drawing just suck. And I think it's just because you're getting introduced to new styles, new artwork, you're finding out new artists and stuff, and you're seeing things that they're doing, and it's inspiring, and you're like, I want to draw more like that. So just be very conscious of what you don't want to draw, or what you think sucks that you're drawing. And try to carve out some hours or months or years or days, whatever you can. Everybody's time is a little bit different, what they're able to give, and just try to figure out it that way. I'm trying to figure this hand out. This guy is really... There's things about this guy I like. Things I'm really getting... No thanks. Let's move this head around. Head's not... Alright, see, that... I like that when it's like shoved right underneath the arm like that. That actually looks pretty good. Makes him feel like he's getting a little bit more... strained, perhaps. So I have to figure out all this anatomy here. I'm just scribbling in some shapes where I think things are going to go. Can I explain dynamic anatomy? It's tough. Dynamic anatomy, I can't really... how do I explain dynamic anatomy? I know you're not looking, or maybe you are, looking at like the actual term of it, but how do you explain how to do it? So the way I understand dynamic anatomy, anything that feels more extreme than it should be. So it's dynamic. So let's just say we had Spider-Man swinging through some buildings. If you just saw a guy swinging like in the old cartoons, that's not dynamic. That's action. That's movement. That's how it should look. But if you're... I'm just trying to... I can see it in my head. I'm asking you guys to play along here. You had to have seen it in like new Spider-Man movies. But instead, if you maybe had the camera on the ground looking up and you had Spider-Man, you saw him as a little fleck coming around a building, coming towards us, and he's coming real low. And he just comes right past us. And as he flies or swings past us, you can see a gigantic foot kind of coming up as his back legs pulling in to like really pull himself up from that swing. And you can just see it like this foreshortening where it's just, you barely see his chest, but you just see mostly his thigh and his leg, and he just whips right back. Like, that's dynamic. It's trying to figure out extreme foreshortening with energy. That's, in my opinion, what I try to think about when I'm doing dynamic stuff. However, it's not something I'm always thinking about. It's not like I'm like, well, how far can I really push this? I feel, it might be a good question to start asking, but I feel like it's more of an intuition, an instinct. Like, let's just rip an arm. Let's just get it, like move it in a way that just feels powerful or whatever it is you're trying to do. Like this character... Obviously, I'm thinking of the Hulk when I draw this guy. Anybody that's this big, massive dude. So I need bulbous muscles. And I'm just looking at my reference that's off screen. And I just want to see if maybe we move the head a little bit. But his head's actually supposed to be much smaller. Almost looking ridiculous, the size of it. But everything about him is just... Now we got to make it bigger than that. That's silly. But the dynamic part that I'm trying to do this is like... This fist is coming at us, but we've also got this canister that's coming at us. Both these characters are kind of coming at us. And there's a girl that's jumping that's falling off as well. I'm going to have to make her dynamic. There's some things I like about it, but obviously this hand coming at us is one thing. I want that gnarled hand kind of feel to it. So let's get our pencil here. So what we're going to do is just grab our kneadable eraser. It's basically like an airbrush eraser. I'm just lightly erasing it so I can redraw over top. This background is still, it's 18%. It's too much. Alright, so let's see if we can figure this out here. I'm going to actually start with the hand. I think it's, even though the face is very important when you draw this stuff, the hand is, we're going to try to like figure this out. Jay is saying, anatomy mixed with foreshortening perspective equals challenging. Oh, big time. Big time. So let's see what we can get here. So I'm just going to start trying to figure out the shapes of the hand. So all this underneath stuff here, I would call that like your gesture. Now I'm trying to figure out the structure. So we've got this hand coming at us. I'll just put like a thumbnail on here so we can kind of see it. We're going to want this one coming at us as well. Let's put these lines in here so I can see the joints kind of there. And there's going to be like extreme line weights on this action. This finger we're going to kind of curve in. Maybe it'll go away from us. Get the knuckle here. And this one I'm kind of tucking in. Small head helped in the foreshortening. Okay. We can always make it small again once we get to it. It's easier to see once we get the structures in there. You can start to see how this stuff starts playing together, you know. Here into a wrist, so I'm just going to use a fat part of my pencil. No. It's a bone, but I want it to curve because it's coming at us. One thing that I mean, everybody's got their style or what they like about art. Let's just flip it to see how it looks. I'm a huge fan of like this sort of stuff, and this is one of the things I'll be trying to study more of is artists that do really freaking crazy anatomy with this stuff. I just love it. This big chunky, it's not really right, but it looks cool sort of thing. Alright, so we're going to have this, and just kind of get the forearm in here, and we're going to just... This is where it's going to get a little weird, because he's got a mass... This guy is huge. And these forearms need to just be massive. So I'm trying to figure out the muscles here. Just put some lines in to help. Figure out the perspective of what's going on. Let's flip it back. Alright, so all of this looks like it might be the arm, but that's really just the just the forearm. Here's gonna be the elbow. Jack definitely got away with it for years. There's I'm a big proponent of if it looks cool, you can get away with bad anatomy. Everybody's opinion on that changes. Some people like Alex Ross stuff to like a T. Like that's all they like is realism and realistic stuff. But they hate really wonked out anatomy. That's fine. We need both, in my opinion, we need both making art. So kind of gesture in the tricep area. And we're going to get like a massive shoulder. Starting to kind of look like a bicep here. I'm just going to erase some of this here. I'm just going to cut it off like that. Some of this might change as we go. It's not a big deal. Alright, so let's get this face going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make another layer, and that way we can move it around. Why does it keep defaulting to that? Get out of here. I was actually doing some studies, and it's locked in my head now. Every time I start heads, I do this circle, right? Like most of us do, I think. And then you figure out, like, okay, what's the angle it's looking at? Where's the front plane? And you carve out the side, and then you just kind of construct your head based on that. I've been doing so many studies on that. It's now integrated into my art, and I'm trying to get rid of it again to go back to, like, here's a shape. Let's turn that into a face. I just like the way that feels more than here's a circle and worrying about that. The circle helps you understand where your planes are and things, which is great. But I feel like it loses that dynamicness to it. So I'm just going to try to figure this out like we used to, or at least how I used to draw. It sounds so weird saying it like that. You're going to have his cheekbones kind of coming in here. He's got a massive jaw. Alright, so we know where the center's gonna be. He's got kind of like a stubby nose. Figure out the eyes in here. And when you draw people screaming, I don't know about you guys, but it's one of the things I don't really like because if it doesn't look right, it always feels like ugh. Jay saying, the only artist I can imagine having it easy with foreshortening or for dynamic poses is Frank Frazetta, and even then he had tendency to recycle some of his poses from job to job. Yeah, Frazetta was amazing, but that's because of the studying he did. The guy did freaking insane amount of study. It's true for everything, guys. Like the more you draw, the better you're gonna get, right? And the thing is, I think very few of us ever look at our own stuff and we're like, oh man, my stuff's amazing. I love all the work I do. It's usually other people really like your stuff, you know? Oh, this screen is looking stupid. Maybe once we put the rest of it in, might help. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's start over. John, I'm still waiting to see more of the Butcher King, that meat cleaver sword thingy. That was freaking sweet. Thanks, man. I'm actually shoehorning that character into Castle Dracula. UV maps. Not fun. I 3D work to me is it's a crazy beast. I love seeing 3D work and stuff though, but it's tough. We could try just... Yeah, we'll try it like this. See if we can get... Give a lot of gum action. We can still get all of his massive chin. We can curve it in here to give that massive jawbone. Let's flip it back, see what it's... Looks like he's having a good time, which is... I don't know if that's necessarily bad. He is a bad guy, so... Let's see if we can maybe... make it look a little bit more insane. Kind of. Actually, sometimes this happens to me. I don't know if you guys see this or not, but these are all supposed to be his top teeth. These are all supposed to be his bottom teeth. That's supposed to be gums. But if you look at it, I could just turn his gums into teeth. And now he's screaming. Alright, whatever. I guess it works. There you go. But I want his eyes to just cower more. Let's get a nice brow on there. Plane here for that. See ya, Jay. Sorry you got the flu, bud. Yep, Lars, I did see that. For those of you that, I don't know if you can, I doubt you see the chat when you're watching the recording, but he's saying, did you see the Todd McFarlane post on Facebook where he talked about being your own biggest critic and how being rejected all the time helped him to become the artist he is today? It's actually a really good post. If you guys get a chance, I'd highly recommend checking it out. Whoops, what the Alright, so let's get his face layer here. What is it, K? Yeah. So it's still too big, so we're going to shrink that up. And I'm actually going to shrink it in this way too. I'm going to bring it up this way just so we can also get some more shoulder action on the side. This is where it gets a little complicated. The back muscles are back muscles. So we have a giant shoulder. Not see much of the bicep area. I'm actually going to bring his arm in a little bit more here. There's a little flippy flip. See how it looks on this side. Okay. Okay, well, I don't want to cut this party short, but I think I'm going to wrap it up here so I can kind of finish this stuff on my own here. So I got this, again, this deadline. And again, I appreciate you guys for coming by and giving me all the thumbs up, letting me know the stream went all together. If you guys could actually let me know if you've been here for a little while, overall, what do you think? Is this, so far anyway, is this better than live stream? Is this just as good? Do you feel like, let's try something else? Eric brought up Picardo.tv. I think tomorrow I might try that. Maybe even tonight, actually. If I get all my work done, I'll be able to do a little bit of, what's it called? Sorry, Scorpion. And maybe we'll try Picardo.tv. I'm not sure where we're going to sit. It's all testing. But you guys are the ones that leave the feedback that matters. So if you wouldn't mind, just let me know in the chat right now what you thought overall. Not necessarily what I was saying. If you think I'm out to lunch or I'm an idiot, that's fine. I just mean the stream portion of this. Oh, I definitely will, Eric. So we got a few people saying good stuff. Somebody saying thumbs up for Picardo. Lars, overall it's pretty good with the HD and no weird issues with the mouse. Gonna miss the pop-up feature of the chat. Yep. I like that it's already on YouTube and I don't have to hunt it down. That's good. It's great. Just came in at the end though. Sorry, Paul. Bobby, I like watching the recorded streams, but tuning in live here's more fun. All right, so I mean, I'm gonna mess around with Picardo again. I might stream that so you guys can check it out. And if you can make it out, thank you. That'd be awesome again. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but that'd be great if you could help me out with that. I might just do a private one, just to with a friend or two, just to see how that goes. From my standpoint, so far, I haven't had any lag. Apparently my audio has been fine. Live stream is usually it's whatever live stream wants to be doing. And once I hit stop recording, we're going to see if this just gets, which I'm pretty sure just automatically uploaded to YouTube, which is a massive actual plus for me. And we can see about notifications through Google, which I would have to imagine there. I think somebody actually already brought that up. And it's not. I think it just automatically comes with this stuff, which is another bonus there. Yeah, everything on YouTube is probably the best way to be doing this. I like it more over here than live stream. Venom, thanks, Venom. That's good to hear. This is cool, especially on Saturday on my day off. Ruben likes that. Great stream. Photoshop was well. Photoshop was a nasty little Photoshop. Like right now, if I click over on this thing, let's see how fast. See, like I'm floating around 75 to 85%, and there's no hiccups, at least that I'm aware of. Whereas with live stream, it's just gross. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much again. I'm gonna kick it off here, and if you, I don't know, this Wednesday I might just go here, but I might go to live stream just as like a final to let everybody know where we're going to go. So I've got till Wednesday to sort of figure this out. But if you're interested in this, see if you can head on over to wherever on Wednesday. You can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Just go to jonathanrector.com. And you guys can follow me through there, so you guys can get notifications on all that stuff. But the streams, the normal live stream is every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this stuff, Saturdays usually never happen on weekends and things. But like I said, I want to have a second live stream going every week. And the weekend just makes sense, I think, for a lot of people. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But until next time, you guys, I gotta see if I can cancel the stream. So after I'm done saying this, I'm not just clicking around. Which one I want right here. Okay, so until next time, you guys, keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll see you then. Bye.